Play again tomorrow. Great history, Penn State, Ohio State, and so much is on the line in this game. We told you earlier, we believe Ohio State might be able to afford a loss along the way, but not in this spot. It's the first time Justin Fields as the quarterback at Ohio State. And again, Bobby, not only did you play there, but Bobby lives in Columbus, hosts a talk show in Columbus, so you know this team about as well as anybody. And I know you have some tape that we can expect to see Fields against Penn State.
Yeah, I was just over practice yesterday watching him. He always awes you with his arm and what he's able to do. Justin Fields, if you look at him, he throws the deep ball as well as anybody. Here we're watching him play Wisconsin. He has man-to-man coverage on the outside. A great play design by Ryan Day. You watch Fields drop back, spinning around here. He has plenty of time. The number 3 inside receiver drains out the safety, leaving Chris Olave to run through the middle of the field untouched. Look at the protection. No one's in his face. And if you're going to give the guy with this arm this kind of time, he's going to drop it in right there. Another touchdown over 20 yards. Penn State, the defense against Indiana last week. Not necessarily a great situation. Man on the outside. This is where the safety is going to make a critical error. He's got man-to-man trailing number 2. Safety locks down on the inside receiver, giving up the deep ball behind him. And look at this, explosive gain over the top. Penn State has given up 9 of those 20-plus yard gains in the last 2 weeks against teams like Indiana and Minnesota. Justin Fields, Greeny, is going to have a field day against Penn State.
I like that play. Again, Minnesota's obviously really good, and Indiana's way better than you're accustomed to them being. But this is a step up. I understand what you were saying. As we are watching this kid, Justin Fields, and we all know this is, another one of these transfer portal success story kind of things, and you guys do all the college for us every week. As you watch Justin Fields, as an NFL prospect, Mark, what are you seeing?
Oh, he's elite arm talent, a little bit smaller than Cam Newton, but his numbers are comparable. He's the only reason they're not the same. I mean, look at the tail of the tape. Through 10 games, they're almost identical. The only reason that total offense number isn't as high is because they're playing Florida Atlantic, Miami of Ohio. He's out in the second quarter eating peanuts with sandals on in the sideline, just watching other guys play. He would have all those numbers.
What do you think, Vilma?
I love that his accuracy has improved so much. When he was at Georgia before he transferred, the first thing I thought of was, another big quarterback, big arm, but he didn't have the accuracy or the touch. Now he has the touch on the football. He has a lot of time to throw the ball, to your point, Bobby. I want to see him when he's under duress. Hopefully Penn State will give us a glimpse of that so we can see how he'll perform. That's a real NFL challenge.
And I want to make the point again, there's an 18.5-point spread. Everyone looks at this as a huge, and it is a huge game. And we've seen the 1-point games the last couple of years. But that's not the expectation tomorrow.
No, you wouldn't think so, because the way they're able to push the ball down the field, this Penn State secondary is not equipped to be able to handle the receivers or the arm of Justin Fields.
There will be a one quarter where Ohio State goes 21-0 against Penn State. I don't know which quarter, but it will happen.
If Penn State can hold Ohio State to 1 score in the first quarter, consider it a win. This thing could get ugly.
Okay, we'll see. Again, that's the biggest game, certainly the most significant of the weekend. Now we come to the moment where we put these guys' feet to the fire. We're looking for bold predictions from this weekend. Vilma, I'm starting with you.
Well, I'm not doing any USC. I'll save that for Mark. So I will stay college, though, and I'm going to go with Indiana beating Michigan this week. Yes, Indiana, we saw some highlights. Offensively, they are really good and they're really explosive. I got Indiana.
Yes, if you follow the Big Ten, Indiana is much better than we're accustomed to them being, but that would be a huge win against Harbaugh's team. Bobby, bold prediction.
We've got a 1 o'clock start for the Seattle Seahawks in Philadelphia. It's going to be an early wake-up for them, but that doesn't matter. I think the Seahawks go in there, double-digit win against the Philadelphia Eagles that are beat up. Field day over there if you look at what they're going to be able to do.
Double digits?
Double-digit win. Double-digit win for Russell Wilson and his crew. And your boy Shoddy as well.
Seahawks, a knockout punch in Philadelphia. All right, Mark, I turn to you. USC's a big favorite against UCLA, so it can't be that, but you pick every single week. What do you got?
I got to go with Dak.
Dak,
baby, on the road. Let's go. Cowboys beat the Patriots. Dak goes off again. I don't know if it's 400. But it'll be at least 300.
You think that the Cowboys are going to go into Foxborough?
Don't make me double down.
And they're going to win the game.
They all heard me. Everybody. I got a mic.
We need somebody.
Get him out of here.
RJ not buying it.
Put some logic over here. What's going on?
All right, we'll see. I'll see you next Friday.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't buy it either, but I like it. And we'll see what winds up happening. That'll be a huge game on Sunday. Meanwhile, we had an interesting game last night. Let's put RJ to work here if we can for a minute. Bucks and Blazers. Giannis against Carmelo. So a very interesting matchup at the 4. And then early, you got Giannis, you got Brook Lopez.
That size at Brook Lopez. We talk about the three-pointer, but what he can do on the interior is impressive also.
But then there's Carmelo Anthony.
It's just good to see Melo back. Good for him. He has earned it. And look at the shape he's in. Do you understand how difficult it is to train for a year without a job and look that good? Good
and
for
look
him.
at him here on both ends of the floor. That's Carmelo with the rebound, and then he's going to come up trailing the play and knock down another three.
Well, and look, people, this is not going to be Carmelo from 5 years ago. This is an individual that is going to be able to help a team. And again, I can't talk about enough how difficult it is to look like that after sitting out a year.
Now, hold on. How'd that look? Carmelo at 18, but this night was about Giannis.
Yeah, well, you got Anthony Tolliver guarding you. No disrespect to Big T. That ain't going to get it done.
But stand by, because Giannis had a remarkable night. Giannis had 24 points, 19 rebounds, 15 assists. He's the first Buck ever to go 15, 15, and 15 in a game. And Milwaukee winds up winning at 137-29. Let's talk about both of these teams. Why do you have that look on your face?
Giannis is good. Giannis is good.
Well, you were here yesterday and we were talking about Luka Doncic.
Yes.
And the question came up, if you were starting a team with a young player right now, where would Doncic go on the list? The number one guy on the list would be Giannis, yes?
Agreed. The number one, because physically, there's things that we have never seen before. Physically, he's doing things that no one else has ever done. 15, 15, and 15. And those are just baseline numbers. He was 24, 19. Like, it's even well above that.
Yes, he was 24 points, 19 rebounds, and 15 assists. And for those of the younger people watching us, I mean, Lou Alcindor played for the Bucks.
Yes.
He was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had among his best years playing in Milwaukee and never did what Giannis did last night.
I was going to say, you're not that old to call him Lou Alcindor.
No, but he was Lou Alcindor when he played for them. That said,
yes.
Let's talk about Carmelo. What are realistic expectations for him and his return, this superstar now in Portland at this stage of his career?
Well, especially with them so banged up, he's going to shoot a few more shots. But once they get their entire team back, once they get Yusuf Nurkic back, once they get Dame Lillard back in that lineup, he is just another guy that can actually give you some points. Whether he goes off the bench, comes off the bench, or whether he's a starter, he's someone that can contribute to a team that really looks like they're treading water, especially in the Western Conference.
It's fascinating to me because Melo is one of those guys that we all understand where he has been in his career, but is he someone who you think will be accepting of that kind of role? I would have thought that he'd be a guy who'd come back on a team that was contending for a championship and try and play a role there. Now he's a role player on a team that's under 500.
Yes, but this is his opportunity. I think he wants to play basketball past this year. And if he wants to play basketball past this year, what he needs to do is prove that even on the team that's not in the postseason, he can accept a role. Look at what's going on with Dwight Howard and the Lakers. Dwight Howard was kind of searching for a job.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the Lakers pick him up, and he's been a model citizen, and he's been a large reason why they are one of the number one defensive teams in the NBA. When you look at different statistics, he is a big part of that. Block shots, leading the NBA in block shots. So if a guy like that, of that talent level, can accept a role, and that's what he's doing. Right now, he's auditioning to be on a championship team next year and accept a lesser role.
That's really interesting. Quickly, let me circle back on Giannis. Is Milwaukee the best team in the East?
They are, by far, in my opinion. I think Boston is really, really good. I think Miami is somebody that a lot of people have kind of underestimated, but they have a lot of young talent. So I can't give them that they're going to be a postseason team. Love Toronto. Like, there's a lot going on there. But Milwaukee has that large individual right there, and there's nothing that you can do against them. Now, do I think they can win a championship? They can, but I think the teams in the West are just going to be too dominant, too many bodies that they could throw at Giannis, which would slow him down.
All right, well, we'll wait and see. One way or another, it was a very interesting last night. RJ, well done. Tonight, we have a doubleheader, so we'll put RJ to work tonight this evening as well. A doubleheader on ESPN and the ESPN app. We'll see you then. Meanwhile, First Take is coming up next here on ESPN. Stephen A. and Max will react to Myles Garrett's allegation that Mason Rudolph used a racial slur, plus former Browns coach Hugh Jackson will join the program. And who will play better Sunday, Brady or Dak? All that and more on First Take.